Hello everybody and welcome back to OMB Reviews. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well, and today we're doing a box office preview for this upcoming weekend, which sees the new release of the film Elvis, as well as the new horror film The Black Phone. We also see the second weekend numbers for Lightyear, which are not looking good at all, which was to be expected. But one of the interesting things about this weekend is the fact that Top Gun Maverick, even after being out for several weeks at this point, could potentially end up being the number 2 film at the box office, even potentially edging out a film like Jurassic World Dominion going into its third week of release, but it's already projected to beat Lightyear, which is just, again, quite an insane feat for a film that has been out for as long as it has, and Lightyear only going into its second week of release. Let's just say Lightyear not expected to hold nearly as strong as it would need to domestically or internationally to be able to reach the number that it needs to get to if it has any hope whatsoever of breaking even. So we'll talk about that and other things. Before we go any further, please make sure you smash that like button, lap that fire button if you're watching over on Odyssey, and also make sure that you are subscribed to the channel with that bell notification on. That way you know every time a new video or live stream goes live on the channel. So of course the big news is that Elvis from Warner Brothers is set to come out. The film featuring a very creepy looking Tom Hanks. We are both like little children. I don't quite have any desire to see the film because it seems that Tom Hanks is going to be eating up the scenery in almost every single film that every single scene he's in this film. At least that's how the trailer makes it presented. And the main actor who plays Elvis actually looks like he's pretty talented. So I'm still kind of on the fence about whether or not to go see the film. Regardless, it is expected to take the number 1 spot this weekend, making $38 million, so definitely not the biggest number that we have seen, though this is a film that likely is not going to need to make nearly as much money as a film like Jurassic World Dominion or Top Gun Maverick to make its money back. Both of those films have indeed made their money back in droves, a plethora of money, one could say, but Elvis not nearly going to be as expensive of a film as those others, and so $38 million starting off is a pretty good number to start off with, but we'll have to, of course, wait and see what the budget is for that movie to be able to say one way or the other whether the film is going to be a financial failure or financial success, especially also comparing that to the international numbers that are going to be posted by the end of this weekend. We also have Jurassic World Dominion in its, third, fourth week of release now, going to make around $31.5 million. So another strong number here, only 47% drop in its third week of release. And so this is a movie that dropped 60% in the first to second week numbers, now dropping another 47%. So still doing very strong, still holding very strong. Its domestic number is going to be around $308.7 million by the end of the weekend. It's expected to take the number 2 spot, but coming in at the number 3 spot, a film that is continuing to do incredibly well, a film that is well on its way to the that march towards the $1 billion mark, is Top Gun Maverick, coming in at the number 3 spot ahead of Disney's Lightyear. That's right, Disney's Lightyear in its second week of release, a film that should be a massive hit. 4th place. Insane. But Top Gun Maverick expected to make $30 million this weekend, bringing its total domestic to $520 million, likely to be one of the largest domestic numbers of the summer, potentially even of the year 2022. There's still several films that still have yet to come out, but Maverick is doing incredibly well in the domestic marketplace and also having very strong numbers internationally as well. As I mentioned, Lightyear is going to be coming in at number 4 with a whopping $23 million, bringing its total domestic to $96.1. So even after 2 weeks, it still will not have crossed $100 million domestically, which I don't think anyone would have predicted to happen. But once again, this is what happens when Disney as an entire company decides to get involved even more blatantly with identity politics. And I think that a lot of people are keeping their families away from this movie for a variety of reasons, and those are just a few of those reasons, which the mainstream media does not actually want to talk about or cover. And then coming in at number 5 is The Black Phone, but again, interesting number here, $20.3 million in a brand new release, meaning that you could potentially see if Black Phone does better than expectations or Lightyear does worse than expectations, you could see even Black Phone in its first week beat Lightyear's second weekend, which again very few people probably would have ever thought even being a possibility with the way things currently are. And so those are going to be the top 5 movies of the weekend. But looking at those numbers just a little bit more as far as the weekly numbers are concerned. So we have these numbers from Wednesday. And again, another very interesting statistic here is that Top Gun Maverick actually ended up being the #1 film on Wednesday, beating out both Jurassic World Dominion and Lightyear. Lightyear has yet to really make any gains whatsoever when it comes to the actual daily box office, losing to films like Jurassic World Dominion and also to Top Gun Maverick. And so these were the Wednesday numbers. If you look to the Tuesday numbers, as you'll see, Dominion got the #1 spot on Tuesday. These are when discount tickets tend to go out. Top Gun Maverick got 2nd place. Lightyear got 3rd. And then we've already talked about that Monday chart where, again, Dominion got 8.6, Top Gun Maverick 7.9, Lightyear 6.5. And so what you can see from these numbers, though, is that, things are not looking good for Disney's Lightyear, whereas Top Gun Maverick is continuing to have very strong numbers, and it's the reason why this film is now over $904 million worldwide. You add into the fact that it's going to add another $30 million, and that's just domestically. That puts the number at around 934, not counting Thursday's numbers. So you're looking at a film probably closer to $940 million before you even add any of the international. So I think that this film could be close to 960, 970 by the end of the weekend when you add in those international numbers potentially. So this film has not only the chance of just continuing its march towards $1 billion, which I think it'll probably hit in the next few weeks, but also this film likely will pass that of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness by the end of this weekend. And that is incredibly impressive, especially since this film has not been out nearly as long as Doctor Strange. Jurassic World Dominion already at $665 million, as I mentioned previously. I think that this film also has a very good chance of being able to hit its own $1 billion mark. This film likely getting close to the $750 million mark by the end of the weekend, whereas Lightyear has only just crossed $100 million worldwide. It will not be at $100 million by the end of the weekend, or rather it'll be just underneath $100 million. If it does better, then it could just hit $100 million domestically. But that means that you're looking at a movie that's going to be, $150 to $200 million by the end of the weekend when you take all the numbers into account. And that's really bad because this film needs to make $500 million to break even. And so if it doesn't even get close to that $250 million mark, it means that this film has to have insane legs, insane drops in order for it to be able to hit that $500 million mark, because it would have to double what it made in the first 2 weeks of its release, which, again, some films can do. Some films can even do better than that. But based off of the numbers that we're seeing, based off of the overall general sentiment and lack of enthusiasm for this movie, I just don't see that being a possibility at this point in time. But what are y'all's thoughts about these numbers? Again, Lightyear expected to possibly even come in at number 5 this weekend. Again, Elvis at number 1, Dominion, Maverick, Lightyear, Black Phone. But as I mentioned, you could see Black Phone do much better, Lightyear do worse, so Lightyear could end up being the number 5 film of the weekend in its second week of release. You could also see Maverick do better than expected and could end up being the number 2 film of the week, even beating out Jurassic World Dominion. Obviously, I personally think that would be a great place for it to be, because I think Top Gun Maverick is one of the best films so far to come out this year. And I think that everyone should go see it. Also, interestingly enough, Lightyear, typically Disney has a pretty strong hold over their IMAX and premium format screens, but I was already seeing, even just this week alone, I was seeing a lot of theaters start to put in Jurassic World Dominion in their IMAX screens instead. I've heard some people say that Maverick was put into some of their IMAX screens, so clearly movie is not doing well, Lightyear not doing well, and so those are the numbers as they stand. But what are y'all's thoughts about this? Let me know in the comment section down below. I will be out this weekend on a vacation, visiting family, so I probably won't have any videos out this weekend. Probably won't have time to do a box office breakdown. Maybe Sunday evening I'll be able to get one in, because that's when we are heading back, and it should be back sometime Sunday evening, so maybe I'll be able to get a video out then, but no video tomorrow. So if you're wondering where I am, that is the reason why. But I want to get this out since there was indeed some box office projections for the weekend, and I thought that these numbers were quite interesting. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section down below. If you like this video, smash that like button, light that fire button, and Odyssey. Y'all are all amazing and beautiful people. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, a blessed feast of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, and as always, God bless. And now for a huge special shout out to my June Keeper of the Bifrost and Chosen of Valhalla level members: Brandon, let's go Brandon, Christopher Bowman, Garrett Searles, Hymir Irie Hymason, Jeff Toon, Joe Horn, Jonathan Carney, Laura, the Modern Major General Story, Father Luca, Mike Jackson for the win, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Orange Chat Reviews. Make sure to check out his YouTube channel. He just hit 1,000 subscribers. Rosetta Allen, check out her YouTube channel as well. Stan Andrian, Miss Martin Muses, check out her YouTube channel. And also, of course, the amazing Tina B, Empress of the Universe. Check out her YouTube channel, especially her show Soup to Nuts that she does with the amazing Stephanie B. Thank y'all very much for supporting me over on Patreon. And a huge shout out to all of my subscribers as well over on Subscribestar at these levels: Matt 317, Storm Tracker, the R, Fast Reaction, Mr. Roy, and also, of course, J-Rod, the Beer Guru, and ZK-Man. You guys are amazing. And a last shout out to my locals members. We have Miss Minnesota Hockey Fan. How about a hockey player? We have Mike Jackson for the win once again, Robert Barnes, and Brett D90. So I want to say thank you again for being my members at the Keeper of the Bifrost level and the Chosen of Valhalla levels. If you want your name specially shouted out at the end of every single video and live stream, please check out my links at the Patreon and Subscribestar. You can find those in the top link in the video description, the Willow link, as I like to call it, where you can also get access to things like giveaways, things like the podcast I do with John the Flick Pick Flickinger, and other cool stuff like that. Anyway, thank you all very much for supporting me for the month of June. You're all amazing and beautiful people. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, God bless.